The Agricultural Value Chain Development Program, AVCP1, is a program by Government of Uganda and Africa Development Bank, implemented by Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, that was designed to improve the value chains of maize, rice, dairy and beef. It is a 5-year program and implemented in 47 districts spread across northern Uganda, eastern Uganda, central Uganda and western Uganda. Under maize and rice value chains, the program has recruited agribusiness and marketing business development service providers who are going to support the farmers to access agriculture inputs. They will provide extension services to these farmers. They will build the capacity of the farmer groups, and they will also ensure that all the farmers' produce accesses markets on time. Under the dairy and beef value chains, on the one hand, we are supporting genetic improvement so that we double the yield from our local cows from 3 liters a day to 6 liters a day, and are also increasing the carcass weight of our beef animals from the current 300 kilograms to 600 kilograms at 2 to 3 years of the animal. The project is supporting the National Animal Genetics Resources Center and Data Bank in Entebbe to improve farmer access to artificial insemination, thereby with the intention of increasing the productivity of both dairy and beef. The National Animal Genetic Resources Center and Data Bank, that is NAGRIC and DB, under the project of the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project, we are responsible for a subcomponent on improving access to improved dairy and beef breeds for the livestock farmers in the project area. NAGRIC and DB is specifically responsible for producing the semen that will be used by farmers for the genetic improvement. The project is going to rehabilitate the semen laboratory, and where we process the collected semen and we avail it to smallholder farmers. It will also train artificial insemination technicians who will offer these artificial breeding services within the community. Artificial insemination is a technology that is the cheapest way of improving our animal genetics in the whole globally. It is the cheapest way and the easiest way. So we use semen that has been imported, but also semen that has been produced here locally.
It is now 2 years since we started working with the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project through NAGRIC, improving the breeds of the animals here. They synchronize the animals here at the farm, then inseminate them with better breeds. Things have improved because almost all the animals conceived very well, and we managed to get good calves, and in the same time. Before, they used not to conceive in the same time, at the same time. They could give birth at different times, but using this project, they almost conceived at the same time and gave birth at the same time. For me, I've benefited by the challenge. We have some of the farmers we have around, they don't believe in this project, so we need to train. We need more training for more farmers to come on board as regards this project, because they fear to improve the breeds. They say the breeds are difficult to maintain. On the other hand, the project is supporting the Dairy Development Authority to improve regulation of the milk and dairy value chain.
Yeah, DDA in full is the Dairy Development Authority. It is an agency that was created by an Act of Parliament in 1998 under Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, which we abbreviate as MAIF. So when DDA was created by an act of parliament, it therefore meant that they were given a mandate, and its mandate under the act is to develop and regulate the dairy industry in Uganda. Okay, the coming of the AVCP project was very timely for the organization, for the agency DDA, because among other things, it provided support to review of the dairy regulations. That meant then that we are going to have reviewed regulations, because the regulations that we are using are obsolete, and we needed to put some things because even the industry has grown. In addition to that, AVCP is supporting rehabilitation and equipping of the milk collection centers. Once these centers are rehabilitated and equipped, the farmers are going to transport their milk to the milk collection centers, and it will help in reducing post-harvest loss, because they will be taken to the center, to the milk collection centers, they will be bulked there, and even farmers will then get a good price for their milk. The farmers are going to have their products. You know, when they sell the milk and the milk is processed, the returns go to the farmers. We are now going to accredit the laboratory, National Dairy Laboratory in Lugogo. When that one is accredited, that means our products will be accepted both in the region and in the national level, regional and international market. So our products will have a competitive price in the national level, regional and international market. And this brings income to the country and finally translates to the farmers.
The project is supporting regulation and certification, where we are going to do some rehabilitations of the phytosanitary laboratories in Namalere, and that is all under the first component of production and productivity enhancement.
I work as a senior agricultural inspector, seed registration in the Department of Crop Inspection and Certification, which is in the Directorate of Crop Resources, Ministry of Agriculture and Marine and Fisheries. As a department, we are responsible for 3 different areas. We are responsible for agricultural chemicals in the country. We are also responsible for all issues of seed, as well as issues of phytosanitary and quarantine. When we talk about phytosanitary, that is literally plant health. So as a department, we regulate all issues of seed in the country, from the time the seed is registered to the time the seed is gotten by the farmers. The same applies to agricultural chemicals, from the point that they are manufactured to the point that the agricultural chemicals are accessed by farmers. We have a post-entry quarantine station in Namalere, which is our diagnostic center, where we test anything of plant nature. Once we suspect it to have any pest or have any disease, we test it at our quarantine facilities in Namalere. So in a nutshell, the department is a regulatory department. Is responsible for issues of seed, responsible for issues of plants and plant products, as well as agricultural chemicals. In terms of the agricultural value chain project, which is a project within the ministry, as I earlier on elaborated, the department is responsible for regulation. So the project, because it's looking at the value chains of crops and specifically for maize and rice, we, as a department, we have increased the availability of quality seed on the market, and this is through support from the project, where we have been supported by the project to improve on our services that we offer to the public. So through the project, we've been able to access resources that have improved on the way we do our work. The frequencies of field inspections have significantly increased as a result of the funding from the project. So the service that we offer, I believe we are helping the farmers by increasing the amounts of seed, quality seed on the market, as well as quality agrochemicals on the market. So literally, in terms of service that we are offering to the public through the project is quality agro-inputs that are accessed by the farmers. As a department, I'm involved in issues of registration of seed, and the process of registering seed is a lengthy one. One of the things that we do is test the seed before it is eventually released and sold to farmers. So we work closely with the breeders from Narok, and through the project we've been availed with an irrigation scheme, which irrigation scheme helps us not to wait for the rains. We can do the testing at any time of the year. So we're able to plant these varieties that are submitted by the breeders. We're able to release them in good time. So this reduces the time in which varieties are released, and this is to the benefit of the farmers. And if it wasn't for ABCP, we wouldn't be having this irrigation facility. The post-entry quarantine station where we're seated now, it helps in terms of disease diagnostics. Through the project, we've been able to apply equipment, and this equipment used to help both the farmers as well as we as regulators. For anything that is coming into the country, we're able to test it to be sure that it is of the right quality, it is free from any pest, it is free from any disease. So through the project, we're able to acquire some equipment, laboratory equipment, that is going to improve on our efficiency in terms of doing our work, diagnosing pests and diagnosing diseases.
Specifically now look at the targets under the project, and this I will go through by component. Under component 1 of the project, which is increased production and productivity of maize, rice, dairy and beef, the project is supporting the National Agriculture Research Organization, specifically on maize and rice research. And this research is targeted to increase farmer access to quality seed. That is where the project intervention is mainly focused on. And here we're targeting to double the on-farm production and productivity, specifically looking at an increase in yield of maize from the current 1.5 metric tons per hectare to 3 metric tons per hectare.
My agency NARO has a critical mandate of conducting research in all aspects of agricultural area, covering crop, plant, livestock, machinery, fisheries, and forestry. This research includes socioeconomic work that helps to generate technologies that are used in transformation of livelihood and bringing development to the society. Through AVCP, our agency, the National Agricultural Research Organization, through its institute, the National Crops Resources Research Institute, based at Namlonge, we provide early generation seed in quantities that are sufficient for stakeholders' use. And this early generation seed include nuclear seed, breeder seed, and foundation seed. The AVCP project at the same time support NARO to provide critical information about these new varieties that can be used by stakeholders, including seed companies. Since the inception of AVCP project, the capacity of NARO to produce adequate quantity of early generation seed was improved. For example, in rice we were able to produce 1.6 tons of nuclear seed, and 3.5 tons of breeder seed and 18.5 tons of foundation seed. Then in the maize sector, we were able to produce 1 ton of breeder seed of parental lines and 4 tons of foundation seed. Another aspect is that we were able to package information about these varieties and present them in locations where users easily access. We did what we call season-long planting, where the crop is planted every 2 to 3 months, and those who come for engagement, for training, they find the crop at different stages and they get packaged about the information on the varieties. The other one is that through AVCP, we were able to be facilitated to quickly undertake release of varieties that were ready for release. And this makes it easy for end users to get varieties through pre-release meetings, exposure, and the variety release meeting itself. AVCP project was very timely. It found us at a time when our capacity to produce seed was limited because we frequently have less water and we were relying on rain. Now through this project, we were able to develop a 1 hectare paddy field where we can do seed production, testing and bulking throughout the year. And indeed the best seed is produced normally off season during dry season. Now we have the capacity and it has been developed for rice. Then maize, we equally have 1 hectare area developed with shallow well, dependable water, which is drawn, and it helps to do sprinkler irrigation. So that is one big advantage we have got. A second one is that our capacity to link with stakeholders, especially the local government, the seed companies, and the millers have been strengthened. Because we used to release variety and hold and wait for another player. But now we are involved in packaging and rolling out to players along the value chain. We have 3 challenges that we feel need to be sorted. Number 1, our capacity to store seed in a form that is viable, where it can germinate immediately you want to plant, is still poor. So if we can refurbish our seed store and we improve the packaging, then we will be able to keep this seed for 3 to 4 or 6 years instead of regenerating every 1.5 years, which makes chance of mixing seed possible or even losing a variety completely can take place. So the intervention in this case is that we would like the seed laboratory and the seed store to be strengthened. The second one is that our work involves testing varieties in different parts of the country and also collecting seed to confirm that they are still pure and also put demonstration. And we don't have a dependable transport, so we would expect in the remaining period of the project that a good transport should be made available so that we run the project efficiently.
I am a farmer. I'm specialized in rice farming and vegetables. This year I planted 2 varieties of rice. Let me say 3. And for commercial is 2 plus this other one. I planted this one that we are in the garden is called AUR 1189. It is a new variety. And this rice was, from the beginning when I was planting, was disturbed so much by sunshine. This year we didn't have enough rain and most of the crops died. And even other variety of rice that I planted died. But this one that we are in survived, and as you're looking at, it's not so bad. But so far it's the best rice variety of rice for this place. When you look at the ground, there are a lot of cracks because of sunshine. This other rice will not survive. But this rice is a very good rice so far. It's a new variety, and we have planted this rice. I started with the very few kilograms. I was given by Naro, and I breeded it. It was like I was given only 120 kilos. So when I was given 120 kilos, I planted. When I planted, I got, it was 3 acres. From 3 acres per acre, I was getting 12 to 15. I planted in a very wasted land. The land was not very good. I was not even very interested. I was trying, seeing, maybe what we have is better than this one. But this rice surprised me, and it was doing better than this one. So this year I put effort, although there has been a lot of sunshine. And I planted about 19 acres. In each acre, as you are seeing this part, I have already harvested these parties in the store. I am getting from here, I am getting from 15 bags per acre. 15 bags per acre from this rice. Yet this other rice I planted Shupa, I told you, and Namse 5. All of them, that side was Shupa near the water, and the second one was Namse 5. But I didn't get much out of that because of sunshine. But this one was in a land that was so dry, almost upland, and you are seeing it now. And I would say this rice is so far the best rice. I have been a farmer, a rice farmer for over 25 years. But this, when I started benefiting from this program, I really realized that there is no any other rice. Because you see this ground, even there is a lot of crack because of sunshine. Other rice would die all, but this one has survived. It has survived and doing well. There is a lot of challenges that I'm facing. One, we see the climate change has really affected us. If not because of this rice, if it was a different variety, I was not going to get anything. As you see, it is doing well. It would have done better than this one. So what we need here, we have water nearby. If we have the equipment for irrigation, that would be very good. And another challenge is we don't have something for harvesting, even threshing, because now if you plant like around 40 acres, 20, and many people are planted, harvesting, when it is getting ready for harvest, it gets ready at once in the garden, or you can't harvest within 2 days. So there is very big problem in post-harvest because of lack of equipment for working within few days in the garden.
Government intends to achieve an increase in the area underwater for agriculture production, and that will be achieved under the Achomai irrigation scheme. The scheme covers a total of 1,608 hectares of land and will support the farmers to increase their production and productivity, mainly of rice. But the scheme comes with support infrastructure, including a warehouse, including drying racks, including a bridge, including 58 kilometers of farm roads, and also introduces mechanization for our farmers. Under the same component of agriculture infrastructure development, we are also constructing 25 mini irrigation schemes, again specifically targeting to increase farmer access to seed.
It's a project, a 74 billion project that's going to do irrigation of Achomai agricultural irrigation scheme. It's going to deliver water to the farmers of Achomai area. This is going to be a most wonderful project that we are going to have in eastern Uganda. It's going to support farmers. It's going to focus on 4 products. That's rice production, beef. It's going to focus on vegetable and more so on value chain addition, processing, production, processing, storage, and marketing of agricultural products in the project area. So this is going to be a very wonderful project that farmers have already picked interest in. So we pray it is totally a success. At the district level, we have given them land. We have taken them to an intake area where the irrigation is going to take place. We have already mobilized people to participate in the project. We have mobilized farmers. We have started forming them in groups. They are ready to take up the project.
I'm called Wanyonyi Simon, a resident of Tajari village, Tajari parish, Kamtu sub-county, and I'm the chairperson of Project Coordinating Committee of Achoma Irrigation Scheme. That stretches in 3 parishes. That is Achoma Parish, Kochus Parish, and Tajari Parish, all in Kamtu sub-county, Bukedia district. In the last 2 years, I've been having a loss. I've not harvested good harvest. In this area, when we grow crops, we have 2 patterns. We might have a lot of drought, and all the crops, as much like this very season, the drought was too much. Other seasons, you might grow the crops and too much floods comes and take. But in a good harvest, we always, in maize I always harvest 15 bags per acre. Cotton I always get 800 kilogram minimum per acre. Rice I've been getting 20 bags. So our soils are so fertile, but only those 2 patterns are the one that always disturb us. So the Achoma irrigation scheme will address the 2 challenges of floods and the same time of drought. Then the third aspect is the road network. We have been having a problem of road network. Under good harvest, we cannot have no good roads. And another thing also which is going to address is the issue of storage. We have been harvesting crops, but storage is a problem. So Achoma irrigation, I know those are the challenges that is going to address.
It's going to address elements of Vision 2040 that we should see improve the livelihoods and welfare of people. So it's in line with government programs. It also fits into a government program of parish development model, because one of the pillars is about agricultural production and productivity. So it's a timely project for the development of Bukedia district, and more so for the people of Achoma and Kamutu at large. This project is a wonderful one because the proposed interventions will focus on value addition, and more so on those 4 items: the rice, the maize, the vegetables, and beef. And that area is a livestock corridor. So it's a timely project for our area of Achoma and Bukedia at large. This project is going to bring a lot of changes in the area. It's bringing access, the road network. Already they have earmarked 20 kilometers for the site, but also within the project area, about 57 kilometers will be constructed. There will be many canals, minor canals, distributing water to farmers. The beauty about this project is that farmers will do the work themselves. They will not be displaced. The water will only be accessed to farmers. The irrigation, they will be accessed, water will be managed, farmers will do their work on their lands, while government will only do access bigger channels, bigger canals, that way they will be compensated on those canals when they construct them. But the management of the water system will be done by farmers themselves. So that's the beauty of this project.
The third component of the project is market development and trade facilitation. And under this component, we are first of all constructing the National Metrology Laboratory at the Uganda National Bureau of Standards here in Kampala. And this laboratory is going to help Ugandans to have access to machinery to calibrate all the equipment that is used for agriculture exports. Previously, this equipment was being taken to Nairobi and South Africa to be calibrated for you to be able to meet the export requirements.
The AVC, which basically we call the Agricultural Value Chain Project, is yet another key partner in implementing and supporting our mandate. And we want to thank the African Development Bank through its funding to Ministry of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries, MAIF, for that gesture, where UNBS was identified as one of the beneficiaries. So this particular AVC project is going to provide for us one of the most critical facility, and that is the National Metrology Laboratory infrastructure. The National Metrology Laboratory is key because one, it is one of the components that promotes standards implementation, and particularly will support the calibration or verification of equipment used in industries, the various industries in terms of measurements, so that when they are measuring, they really give accurate measurements, which is very critical for fair trade and protection of our people. So that will be very critical contribution by the AVC project to the Bureau. In the next 2 years, we believe that the current infrastructure, the laboratory being constructed under the AVC project, will be complete. And hopefully we also pray that this will be equipped by that time, because as you are aware, the project is currently giving us only the building. And for laboratory to be effective, you need to also make sure that you furnish it with the equipment which is able to undertake the mandate. So we believe that over the next 2 years, the building will be completed, furnished, and equipped to be able to respond to its key mandate of making sure that we verify and calibrate all the equipment used in the agricultural value chain by the different industries, but also provide support in other sectors. For example, the medical sectors, where we have a number of machines being used in measurements in health. So that will also be supported, but also those laboratories that are being operated, they run various equipment which are used in measurements and analysis. So these NML, the National Metrology Laboratories, will also be able to support the calibration of the equipment that are housed in the various laboratories in the country, both public and private laboratories, so that we are able to save the costs of actually sending this equipment to foreign countries for calibration. We'll then be able to do that within the country, and therefore saving a lot of costs that is being spent on having this equipment calibrated by external companies. I think my urgent need now, after the project has given me the building, is the issue of equipping it. It is our humble request that much as we appreciate the structure cannot be effectively utilized in absence of the equipment that is required to fully operationalize it. So I believe that is an area I would request ADB and Ministry of Agriculture to consider, that we provide additional funding to put basic equipment, so that once this building is completed, we do not take too long to equip it, but it should be quickly put to use, both after completion and equipping, so that then we realize the intended objective of the project.
The project is a 5-year program, and the implementation started 2019, and currently it is envisaged to end 2023. We would like to thank the Government of Uganda for the investment. We would like to thank the different stakeholders for their support. would like to thank the African Development Bank for supporting the maize, rice, dairy and beef value chains. And we are confident that by the end of the program, the country will sustainably benefit from these investments and we shall see a lot of progress in the value chains.